Tonight, Bizarre is proud to be present at one of Washington, D.C.'s most prestigious buildings, the Smithsonian Institute. Recently, the directors of the Institute have opened a special wing to house memorable items from the world of television. And standing beside me is the chief guide who will explain some of the items that they've collected. Let's meet Mr. Fred Barker. Good evening, Mr. Barker.
Good evening, and that's red. The F is silent.
Mr. Barker, our viewers would be interested in you showing us some of the items that you've collected.
Well,
in the museum.
I'm sure they would, and I've got oodles of things to show them. Here, this is Archie Bunker's favorite chair from All in the Family. Remember, he used to yell at Meathead all the time?
And behind you over here?
Over here, this is a jacket. If you step this way, I'm sure everything will be framed nicely. This is a jacket worn by the Fonz in Happy Days. Oh, we talking stuff here.
Indeed, and behind you over here?
Now, this is the hat worn by Mr. Sid Caesar in your show of shows when he played the professor.
My goodness, that's fascinating.
Terrific, I thought.
What's in this room?
This is filled with fascinating things sent over by TV programs in hopes that one day our board of directors will vote on them, accepting them into the Smithsonian Institute.
Well, I'm sure that our viewers would like to see some.
You want to see them?
Yes.
Well, hold on, okay?
Okay.
Remember Loretta Young? Oh, look here what I've got here. This is something from the show MASH.
Would this be Hot Lips bra?
No, it's Corporal Klinger's bra.
You're right. I can still see some little chest hairs. They're stuck to it.
Chest hair stuck to it? Oh, I made a mistake. It is Hot Lips bra. Disappointing.
And what's that?
Oh, that's 10-year collection of Tom Snyder's fan mail.
10 years.
I often wanted to open it, see what he had to say about himself. This is something, isn't it?
Bob Hope cue cards.
Yes. Come on, together. Good morning. It's good to be here. My name is Bob Hope. Well, I've got to get these back to him as soon as possible.
Why, does he need them for another show?
No, he needs them for everyday living, going down the street. The microscope.
Well, what show's the microscope from?
Take a look.
What's that dot?
Nielsen rating from the Jerry Lewis show.
And what's that?
Oh, I'm so glad you pointed that out. Here, let me get around you. Look, a necklace worn by Mr. T himself. Feel the weight of this thing. Can you believe it?
Grief.
Yes.
What's the arm from?
This is the arm of the man who tried to take the necklace from Mr. T without asking permission first.
What's that roll over there?
Oh, now, this is a special tape of an all-star family feud.
Really?
I think it was Dallas versus Dynasty. If you look close, you can see Richard Dawson kissing Joan Collins, or J.R., I'm not sure. Anyway, the survey says enough is enough. You know what
I know what this is.
Go ahead, take a guess.
Yes, this is from Dynasty. That's Joan Collins' bedsheet.
No, it's from San Francisco, and it's Carl Malden's handkerchief. I guess you blew that one.
What's this?
Oh, this little sign here says, "Do not disturb."
Yeah.
That's a treasure, and it might be voted into our building very day today.
My goodness.
Yes, it's from Magnum P.I.
Was it on Tom Selleck's dressing room?
No, it was on Tom Selleck's fly.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Fred Barker. This is Earl Pennington returning you to the show.
Disturbed.
Excuse me, Mr.
So
Barker.
cute. He's so cute.
Could I use the men's room?
Yes, but use the stall on the right, will you please?
But why is that?
The left one was donated by the Bizarre Show, and it's still full ship.
Ladies and gentlemen, the star of Bizarre, John Biter.
Tonight is kind of different. We said we gave the audience some cards, asked them to fill in, asked some questions, and we're going to answer them, okay? All right, just to know we didn't make this up. Brian Cruden, you out there? Well, see, he's here. Nice guy, too. He just went... Felt like, ooh, 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 ooh. All right, he doesn't have to stand up. I mean, he can sit down. Okay, Brian asks, what do you plan to do when Boy George comes to town? Well, if we're invited to the same party, I won't wear the same dress. That's all. How many impressions do you know how to do, and which is your favorite, and can you do him for me? And that's from Marge. Just Marge. No last name, just Marge, like, Cher. Okay, Marge. I never counted. I don't know. Where's Marge anyway? Yes. Marge, are you here? Over here, Marge, is so quiet. You need a periscope, Marge. Okay. Oh, I never counted the impressions I do, and my favorite impersonation is,
Well, this one. It's just something I do. There's no name. It's just something I do.
Okay. All right. Oh, here's one we'd like to tickle. She starts out, hi, Johnny. You know what I mean? Hi, Johnny. We're guys together. Let's hang out. Okay. Hi, Johnny. I'm Candy. Johnny and Candy, where's Peter? My measurements are, not even the phone number. First, ba-boom. 40, 22, 34. Okay, if you're able to stand up, Marge. Candy, you're able to... Okay, would you meet me after the show? I hear you're bizarre in bed. That's what she said. All right, Candy, you gonna stand up, please? Reveal yourself. Candy. Hi, Candy. Hi. Does the name keep you out of the Army? Yep. Now listen, Candy. You asked me a question. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know the difference between an asshole and a hole in the ground? You can't put your arm around the hole in the ground.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Everybody's Court, the daily show that brings you real, simple legal cases into your living rooms. Today, the case involving Sylvia Gonzalez, who claimed that her neighbor took the string off her morning paper, leaving it unwrapped, will have to be postponed because Sylvia was unavailable on this date. However, we do have a replacement case, that of Mr. Garboni versus Mrs. Gerchikoff. It's a little more serious than we usually cover. Here is Judge Grayhair right now.
All rise.
Be seated. Will the plaintiff and the defendant please take the stand? I would like to review the case here. It says that Mrs. Ira Gerchikov was threatened by a Mr. Harry Garboni. That Mr. Garboni stated that if she refused to pay money for protection of her husband's cleaning business, he would take serious action against her family. She refused, and the next morning her house burned down, her car was blown up, her pet fish were filleted, and her husband was missing. Is that what you stated, Mrs. Gerchikov?
Yes, and that beast right there deserves to die.
Please. This is a court of law, and you're in syndication. How can you be sure that Mr. Garboni did what you said? In other words, do you have any proof?
First of all, I saw him. He tied me up and made me watch the whole thing. He left fingerprint on my neck. Fish were taken off this morning. I have a videotape of him setting fire to the car, and 17 neighbors signed a sworn affidavit.
Well, this case is interesting. What do you say, Mr. Garboni?
Your Honor. Your Honor, it's all a total misunderstanding. I went over to see this bitch, Mrs. Gerchikov, right? I went over and told her, I say, hold my rope. She misunderstood. She starts hitting on me, right? I want to calm her down. I tie her up to calm her down.
What about the car?
I was trying to be a gentleman. How did I know the car didn't take unleaded nitroglycerin? That's what made the house burn down. But before it burned down, I went into the house to save her fish. I came out, I tripped, I fell down the steps, cut all the fish up.
Well, this case is a little more serious than the ones we usually deal in. However, I can only pass the mandatory sentence. Your story, Mr. Garboni, even though a good one, is kind of hard to believe in some spots, especially about the fish. So this court finds you guilty of 1 count of fish filleting, and I'm going to double the all-time penalty invoked by this court. You will pay $30 for the replacement of the fish and apologize to Mrs. Gerchikov and promise never to burn her house or blow up her car again.
$30 fucking dollars!
Would you like me to make it $31?
All right, I'll pay the $30.
What about the apology?
Sir.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Gerchikov.
Sorry, Mrs. Gerchikov.
Case closed.
Well, a sorry from you is all I get. What about my husband?
He's dead already. He can't apologize. He's lucky to know.
There we have our case for today. Be sure to tune in
I gotta
tomorrow
pay for this
Everybody's
guy.
Court
I
for the
don't understand.
scintillating
Why you
case of
whispering?
11 checkout
You're from
items
church
in
or
a
something?
10-item counter. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
I'm telling you, Martha, that mouse is still here.
Now, don't worry. I called the exterminators.
Yeah, it's about time. Look. Oh, I'm just going crazy with this thing in the house. Look, holes all over the place. I can't walk without stepping in the droppings. And yesterday, my electric shaving wire was chewed in half.
All right, now just calm down. The exterminators will be here any moment. They guaranteed they will get the job done.
Get out.
It's all clear. You can get up. I don't think this guy will be giving you any more trouble.
Here's the bill, $100.
The terrorist exterminating company. You've ruined everything we own. You destroyed our house, our furniture, all our treasured belongings, everything in our entire lives. All we ask you to do is take care of one tiny little mouse, and you've destroyed us forever. And you have the gall to ask us for $100?
Yeah, you even destroyed our television set. Now we can't even watch Dick Clark.
What? No more Dick Clark? Hey, here's $200. Keep the change.
We'll come back and spray again in about a week. From what we hear, this Clark has a habit of coming back again and again.
And again.
Recently
the sensibility of women's livers everywhere has been aroused by the firing of anchor women on TV news. These women, according to the hiring brass of the major networks, are just not attractive enough to convey the sort of image the networks want to put across. Tonight, we'll talk to one of these women who was fired from a Midwest station, Miss Joan Weatherby. Let's give her a warm welcome. Welcome, Miss Weatherby.
Oh, you can call me Joan.
Okay, Joan, tell us exactly what happened to you.
Well, I went to work for WKKP about 2 years ago, and I was doing a real good job. All of a sudden, they said I wasn't pretty enough, and they fired me.
I understand you went through enormous lengths to save your job.
That's right. I began to use more makeup, I wore tight sweaters, I even bleached my hair. I started to spend a lot of money. I spent a fortune on designer clothes.
Boy, what about the charge that you refused to shave your legs?
Oh, that's ridiculous. Once in a while, I would forget, but I was behind a news desk. Nobody could see me.
What about your legs now?
They are beautiful, aren't they? I shaved them this morning, that's why.
Excuse me a minute. I understand you went through some sexual harassment that first started at WKKP.
Absolutely. And I kept quiet about it. I mean, the first week I was there, the station manager came in, he'd pinch me, he'd snap my bra, try to look down my blouse.
Oh, what'd you do about it?
Well, like any woman, I grabbed him by his private parts, I lifted him over my head, and I asked him very politely not to do it again.
Well, I guess he's sorry he abused you, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. We don't really know because he's still in a coma.
So in trying to sum this up, you feel that just because you're not really that attractive a woman, you've been discriminated against, and that was the sole reason you've been fired, exactly?
Well, not the sole reason.
There's more?
They got upset one day when I was filling in for the weather girl. I decided to breastfeed my baby right on camera. They didn't like it.
Well, I don't know if anyone has ever told you, but you're a good way to lose weight. Before we let you go, I understand you've been very upset about your replacement.
Here. Look at that.
Looks okay to me, huh?
Absolutely. Everything everybody wants. Nice pug nose, blonde hair, thin waist, nice chest.
That's where you're mad?
Well, that's only part of it. What really makes me furious is being replaced by a man.
That's a man, huh? That's a man?
What do you think it was? You know what I ought to do is go into the station and pick him up by his private parts.
Thank you very much, Joan Weatherby. We're going to follow your career very closely. Thank you very much. We'll be right back, folks.
Now live and direct from the Enzoville Animal Healing Pavilion, the television genius of the airwaves, the one, the only, Reverend T.V. Sewell.
Bless you. Performing in an animal healing pavilion is not my cup of tea. Some smelly beast threw up all over my dressing room before I come out here tonight, and I only gave her 3 drinks. This is a very special evening for yours truly. I'm announcing at this very moment my candidacy for the presidency of the United States of America. Why, you ask? Because last night the Almighty sent me a message demanding that I run for president. And you all know when Frank Sinatra tells you to do something, you better do it. I bet you're asking yourself, who would T.V. Sewell have as his vice president? Well, I've got a surprise for you. I have decided to run with a woman. I wanted a woman with great strength, sheer confidence, and undescribable courage. That's why I've chosen Bella Abzug. Bella Abzug. That's my running mate. That woman is so powerful, so dedicated, she puts any man to shame. And talk about courage, why, that little lass was riding in a congressional bicycle race last weekend, and on the east turn, she fell to the ground, scraped her knees, crushed her nuts, and still finished the race. Well, I knew right then and there Bella Abzug was for this fella. Now, let's get on to the issues. People ask me what my stand on the issues are. First of all, let's look at bigotry. There are illiterate people in this country who say bad things about blacks, about Mexicans, about Jews, about Indians, about Italians. I say stop picking on individual minority groups. Let's stop segregating our society. As far as I'm concerned, they're all shit. Now, I can hear by the sound of the music. I said I can hear by the sound of the damn music. Ah, yes. That the time has come to end our little visit. But before I go, I want to address a special segment of our society, a very important growing segment. I'm talking about the homosexual. No, I'm not going to expose you, Miss Music. Don't worry about that. This is a special message to you homosexuals at home. Ronald Reagan seems to ignore your needs. Walter Mondale admits you make him gag. So vote for Reverend T.V. Sewell. I'll make a place in my voting booth for a fag. I'll see you through the polls. Now, take care of yourself. Bless you all. Bless you all. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Great audience. We enjoyed doing the show. We enjoyed bringing the show to you. Good night. Have a good one.